Hey there, fellow craftsmen, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Survival Fountain of Youth, Episode 2, Starting to Craft. Let's get now to base building. So, I'm going to plot my base just on this coast here. It's pretty close to a lot of resources. So the things you don't want to be near is wild animals, predators, because you know, it kind of sucks to have a base where you're getting attacked regularly. So going deep in the jungle where there's a lot of predators could be a problem. And then there are a whole bunch of trees in like kind of every direction here. So this nice flat open area is going to be a pretty good place to base up. So here is the workbench, and all of these things can be moved relatively easily, so I'm not too worried about where I physically place them. And my axe that I started with just broke. So this is one weird part of the game, where your axes you can repair, or you can destroy. I like to destroy things, not that you get any resources back, but because if you drop it on the ground, it never goes away. So you like litter up everything to hell. Because I picked the iron axe as the other starter tool, I don't really need another axe. So this regular workbench here allows you to make a stone saw, which allows me to saw wood. And then it also allows me to make the liana belt, which I wanted. So let's go ahead and make another rope. And then that belt that I had coveted. Done. I'm also going to use the living water to remove some of the max health penalties. Even though it's a relatively precious and scarce thing, I think it's fine. Okay, so we have a regular workbench. The next thing that we're going to need to actually start building structures, or shelter, is the... If we go to machines here, we're going to want the carpentry workbench. This thing. So I need 2 more liana ropes, and then I need a common log. And a common log is obtained by cutting down a tree. So here's 2 more little ropes. Oh, and it got dark. I think I am... I am maybe going to go to sleep to try to get back on a regular diurnal schedule, because I've been on a slightly nocturnal one, having delayed sleep the previous night. And my character is like tired enough that if I go to sleep soon, I'll be able to get back on a somewhat more normal schedule. Is floating and flying bases a thing? No, I don't think so, no. But it's a single-player game, so it's not like you would be cheating other players or anything like that. Okay, so now we are... Let's see, is it daytime yet? Nope, not yet. We're back on a somewhat more normal schedule. My fire starter broke, that's fine. So I wanted to cut down a tree. I'm going to cut down this tree here after harvesting its narrow leaves. And this will be the log that I use for that that first structure. And also, now that it's daytime, I'm going to put my primitive torch out. So once I build the this next structure, I'll actually be able to start work on the actual base. I just need to recover my my stamina before I keep walking this thing. My strength and athletics is pretty low, so I don't move around with this thing very easily. Luckily, there is a cart that allows you to cart around stuff more easily. There we go. There's the carpenter workbench. And the carpenter workbench allows you to make builder toolkits. So builder toolkits is the basis for structures. I'm going to repair my fire starter. And then the other thing I'm going to want before I start building a base is a stone hammer. And the stone hammer, as you can see, if I take a look at the ingredients for a stone hammer, it says it needs a big branch. So what I'm going to do at this point is map out the area around me, because I could make a wooden hammer, which is a cheaper builder tool, and that still needs a big branch. So either way, I need a little bit more knowledge of the map around me to be able to start constructing the base. So this cartographer tree straighterhead should, once mapped, and I have mapping charcoal on me, once mapped, should reveal a whole large swath of the area around me. And it also might reveal where food and water resources are as well, because having to constantly rely on hunting and cooking is pretty time intensive, whereas foraging for your food is pretty quick. It's also worth noting, you can only map, at least initially you can only map when it's really good time of day and daytime and like not negative weather conditions. So here we go. And there's the surrounding area. So we have coconut palms on the beach, date palms, we've got tobacco, which is good for burns, eucalyptus, which is good for healing. We've got lots of animals around, boars, peccaries, short-eared dogs, bread trees, you know, just lots of resources. And then right below me is actually a big branch. There's a tree that has big branches that are suitable for building tools. Perfect. That is exactly the information I needed. And I believe it's this tree here. Okay, I took too many branches, but what I can do here is turn one of the branches and the massive stone that I was holding into a hammer, and now I can move again. And every time you pick up a new resource, it shows you what you can make of that new resource. So I can make the big branch into a long handle or a short handle for different types of tools and weapons, into the hammer I just made, so on and so forth. Now, given that I am almost fully encumbered, it would probably be a good time to build some sort of storage before I continue to work on the actual structure. Because without some storage, I'm not going to be able to move around logs and builder kits and things like that. So into my crafting menus, there is, so we can build houses with like foundations and walls and doors and pillars and the like. But what I need is some way to like store my stuff. So there's liquid storage, like a coconut flask, where you can store liquids. And then there is like box storage. If you click this eye icon, it will show you every possible recipe, even though you're not necessarily close to unlocking it. And then here is the unlocked blueprints. So the locked blueprints can be useful if you're trying to figure out like, oh, where do I go from here? But what I want to do is I want to build a large box made of branches. So I need 2 more long sticks and 4 more short sticks. This bar here is stamina, yeah. The bar that's counting down into Yoda. And because I'm relatively hungry, I can see a date palm right over here, so I'm just going to snatch up the date palm. I suppose it's also worth mentioning that the map is not procedurally generated. it is a static map. So if you've played before, you kind of know where everything is. Not that I'm going to spoil it for you guys or anything like that. In fact, I'm playing with the no spoilers tag on. Okay, I have a little bit more carry weight. So let's go ahead and grab some long sticks from up here. Because I wouldn't necessarily mind making more than just one box. Alright. If you take a look at the top left, as you can see, there's the weight icon. So I am encumbered, but it's not critical yet. So if I kept adding more weight, I wouldn't be able to move, but I can still move for now. The bird sounds are nice. It's actually wild chickens that are over there. But there's also, like, the regular bird and chirping noises, too. So some of it is atmospheric, some of it is actually, like, critters that are around. Also, Mind Demise, thank you for the resub, and Malahawk and Fangface. Sorry I missed it in real time. Everything can be moved, so you don't need to figure out like a permanent location right at the start here. It's not that important. So, this box can be upgraded into a protected box, which doubles the food preservation time. But for now, I'm fine with the simple box that we have here. So I'm putting everything that I don't immediately need on me away in the simple box. And then let's make some builder toolkits. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to put away my hammer and my torch, because they are carry weight too. And I'm going to move my carpentry workbench over to the trees, because the builder toolkits are less encumbering than the trees themselves. So this is a pretty like cheap and easy way to make some initial builder toolkits without lugging them around. So the next thing I'm going to need for this is a saw, as you can see. So I don't yet have a saw. So let's make a saw. And for a saw, I need something called a massive boulder, a massive stone, and there's probably some on the beach over this direction. So there are stone collection places. So this here, these little stone piles, is for regular stones. And then there are other designated spots to collect massive stones. You don't tend to need a whole lot of massive stones. They're not something that you have to amass or anything like that. And they do weigh a lot, you know, being massive and all. But the regular stones are pretty handy. The regular stones are also the material that you use to repair the basic stone tools. So these are the regular stones. So you'll find that you go through a whole lot of regular stones pretty frequently. Oh, there's a massive stone right there on that rock over there. As well as a coconut. 2 of them. Perfect. So this massive stone here, if we take a look at the saw blade, at a regular workbench, in 1 hour, we can make a stone saw out of this massive stone. So let's go do that. Now, the basic tools that you start off with, the stone ones, wear out real quick. So you'll be repairing and replacing them. The way the repair and replace mechanic works is every time you repair something, its maximum durability decreases. So if you take a look at, like, my clothing, for instance, It will break in about 6.8 days. And then in 6.8 days, I can repair it with some of the materials used to make it, or I can make a new one. Okay. So the stone saw is made. I am running out of daylight. So at some point when it's too dark, I'll probably call it quits and go to sleep again. Alright, so let's go ahead and saw the builder toolkit. Oh. And 25 new blueprints just unlocked from that. So we have docks and weapon racks. We've got all the foundations, roof, ladders, staircases, pillars, shelves, stools, and then furniture. Quite a laundry list of benefits. All right. Let's go get the torch. And I think what I'm going to do is just stick everything that I don't currently need on me, like, away. Because I have 41 more, or 40 more energy, so I might not go to sleep just yet. I might cut down one more tree, turning it into builder toolkits before hitting the sack. Also, chat, you flatter me. Thanks. I'll drink to that, and cheers. It's also worth mentioning the other things here. The half logs, hollow logs, split logs, and we'll also open up new blueprints by making them for the first time. So for now, I'm just doing a bunch of builder toolkits because that's going to help me lay down like a foundation. In fact, I'll do this last tree while I'm here. The iron axe that I started with is getting absolutely demolished by all this work, but that's fine. That's why I brought it. Because the iron axe will speed up a lot of the initial building required. Alright, now that I'm not physically working, I don't really need the torch lit. The torch, to be fair, like, lasts a long time. So you don't really need to extinguish your torches. Now here's a tip, a pro tip, if you will. It is almost always faster to light your torch on fire and then use your torch to light a campfire on fire, or a furnace, or a kiln, or something like that, than it is to light the kiln or furnace with a fire starter. Using your fire starter to light your torch, and then using your torch to light other things is definitely the meta. So just want to let you guys know that. So now what I'm doing is I'm dragging my my little leaf bed over out of that, like, scorpion-infested cave, and I'm going to stick it underneath this giant rock up here, because this giant rock thing will block rain, so it can't rain on me. So if I stick it here, I'm exposed to the wind, but I'm not exposed to rain. So that's pretty cool. Alright, let's also sleep in a little bit. Okay. So, let's see here. In order to start building, I would like to have my base connected to the water. So it's like a base into the water, right on the shoreline. It's just a personal preference. So here we go. We are going to start with foundations. And I want my foundations, like, kind of high up off the ground so that they can form like a dock. But as you can see, elevation levels matter, because if it was really hilly, it'd be hard to have everything at one elevation. So, use your mighty hammer. The hammer is needed for installing, upgrading, moving, and demolishing modules. The hammer is considered equipped when it is in your active weapon slot, which currently it is. As you can see, I'm holding a hammer in my hand. Without a hammer, you cannot interact with the modules. So, I'm putting a dock into the bay like this. And these aren't built yet. These are just planned modules. What I would like to do before I actually build this stuff is to make sure that I can attach a dock to it. Because attaching a dock to it can be a little iffy. The other thing that you can do here is build one of these things. So it requires a builder's toolkit and a stone. And there we go. And then I can move it around for basically free so that I can get the dock in on it. So now, standing on top of it, I can try to place a dock, and you can see the moorings. The moorings face outwards, and I can't get it to snap. But what I could do instead is to place a dock and build the dock, and then try to snap it together. And I just got a survival point. So with this survival point, I unlocked the survival point because it was a survival task to build a dock on the Island of Hope. I'm going to spend that point in learning. So I'm spending it so that I get 10% extra skill point bonus for the things I do. There's, later on in the learning tree, every 5th completed survival task gives 1 extra survival point, which is not retroactive. So that's important to note. The sooner you get that, if you start to complete survival tasks and you don't have this, you lose out on a total amount of survival points you can unlock. And then over here, a little bit later, rewards 1 survival point for reaching skill level 6, also not retroactive. So these 2 skills here are really important to unlock pretty early on if you're trying to gain as many survival points as possible, because it's a non-retroactive bonus. I wouldn't say you have to necessarily min-max this game, but, like, it's kind of nice to have extra survival points. Just my 2 cents. So here we go. Now we have a dock, and I'm going to try to attach the dock to the foundation so that I can have it... Oh, don't fall in the water. So it can have it all be one contiguous building. Why aren't you snapping? I want you to snap. Man, I do struggle with the whole snapping thing for some reason. Luckily, you can move things around. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Like, this, I can't fall through, so, like, I could just call it good. But I'd really like it to snap. Fine. I might just leave it, because it's being annoying. Let's see. Oh, you know what I need? I know what I need. I'm probably doing it wrong. I shouldn't blame the game. I think attached to these, you need a floor rather than a dock. A foundation, rather. I think I could be mistaken about that, but I can always test that theory pretty easily. So let's place the dock over there and build a floor instead. So as you can see, the floor snaps to the dock. But I think it's, this foundation is physically in the way. I can also get a little wet. It's not going to kill me. Alright, so let's see. Floor. Oh, and I'm now soaked. So being soaked will prevent you from having, rest bonuses. It's not, like, super detrimental. It's not going to kill you or anything. But you should dry off near a campfire if you want to regain stats while resting. Basically, falling asleep soaked is bad for you, and then you can also hypothetically get sick, too. Okay, I'm probably going to give up on the whole snapping thing and just, like, have it be close enough and good enough. It's fine by me. So, let's continue with the foundations so that I can start with other tasks. I actually might want everything to be a little bit higher, because we're getting terrain blocked here unless we want to be... So what I could do is I could build my base like, more or less on the shore, that'd be fine too, I suppose. And a 2x3 is probably big enough. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. In my playtest, like, 2x2 is almost enough room for, like, a lot of the stuff that you're going to put in. So we'll put a little stair there. And then a wall with a door. Have it swing inwards. And I think what I want to do is to start actually building the foundations below it, so I can stand on it as I continue building. Oh, getting dark. I'm pretty thirsty, so I think what I want to do is to fire up the old primitive torch and go foraging for some food before I continue working, because I don't want to dehydrate or starve or anything like that. So I did mention that setting campfire with the torch out is a lot faster. Let's put the saw blade and the builder's toolkits away. So I can demo that when I start cooking. So I'll probably end up, like, hunting crab. Oh, I need a spear for that. Hunting crab or short-eared dog or something like that. And I'll... Oh, where is... I don't know where my spear is. What I'm going to do is craft a stone spear instead. It's, you build it at a regular workbench. So it's the first thing I'm building in the regular workbench. And it's going to last me a little bit longer than the starter spear. And then before this torch burns out, I'm going to ignite the campfire with my torch. And then ignite a second, create a second torch that I can ignite off of the campfire before it burns out. Because I can just hit middle mouse button to ignite by the campfire, so I don't have to, like, use the fire starter again. Because this torch is about to break. I can also choose to throw it if I want. So I mentioned you don't get anything back for a lot of the things that decay away, but you can just huck them into the sea. Ooh, nice. Two crabs and a bunch of coconuts. That should be pretty good. If I had another small stone, which currently I don't on me, I could make a cutting tool to grab some of the coconuts that are on these trees. Oh, here's a stone. Perfect. So go to the stone, hit F, and here's all the things you can make out of a stone. I could also make an axe, a stone axe blade, which would be better than the this basic stone axe that I've been using. So I might want to make one of those in the future, but here's the basic stone cutter. And now I can collect the coconuts. Oh, it's raining, so no more torch. Because it's raining, it would be a good time for me to go to sleep. Because I'm only going to get more wet, and I'm not really going to be able to do anything in the dark in the rain until I actually have a shelter. When I have a shelter over my head, I'm protected from the rain, and it will prevent the rain from extinguishing my my light source. But until then, the rain kind of sucks because, you know, once it rains in the dark, it stops you from working. So here's my little primitive bed of leaves. I'm not going to be regenerating a lot of health in my sleep because I'm wet, but I don't care because I was already plenty healthy. So I'm opening up the coconuts. Now, one thing about the coconut is once they're opened, this white bar is a decay timer. So for tools, it's your durability. For food, it's your decay timer. So like the crabs that I hunted are already starting to decay. And the reason I mention that is leaving a green coconut closed won't spoil. So essentially don't open up your coconuts until you want to consume them. Because you're just facing decay times. So let's cook the crab before I go any further. Let's light the torch. And right now it's kind of like windy. So I had a penalty to lighting the my torch on fire. Oh, frickin' rain, really? Seriously? Fine. I won't cook. Literally as I get the thing on fire. Alright. Well then, in order to continue building, I'm going to need some more small stone. And let's also take the hammer. Now, because it's daytime, I can work in the rain. Because there's enough sunlight, I'm fine. I'm just getting wet. And for those, you know what? Let's put some windows in here, huh? And then another door. And then above me, we'll do slip roofs. I just like the look of slip roofs. I think flat roofs are cheaper, but slip roofs look nice. And there is a bonus for a fully enclosed area. So we're definitely going to want a fully enclosed base for the base bonus. So that's hypothetically what I want to do. But that's going to take me a little while. If you want me to continue working on the shelter, you can vote for number 2. If you want me to work on something else, you can vote for something else. It is up to you. So for now, I'm going to continue working on building up the shelter, but I'm completely happy pivoting if you want me to pivot. Alright, so I'm taking out the axe and the saw blade, and let's cut down some more trees. Can there be second floors? Yes. There are stairs, and you can have second floors. So that number that you saw while I was building, the 3, 2, and 1, and 0, is the sort of stability of the thing. So you can go out like, you know, from a foundation, you can go out like 3 floorboards before it's not stable anymore. Alright, it's going to be medium winded now. Oh, I don't want to cut down a coconut tree. So let's not do that one. So certain trees, I mean, you certainly could cut down coconut trees, but because I really haven't secured a source of, like, easy access food or water, like, leave the coconut trees alone. There was other trees in the forest. You don't need to be cutting down the coconut ones. Good. It's sunny enough that I'm going to return back and do a little bit of cooking. My fire starter is going to break. Yep, it broke. I probably need to make myself a better fire starter, because the starter fire starter kind of sucks. So in terms of fire starters, the next one would be a bow spindle. So that's tree bark, a rope, and a small stick. So that's what I'm going to make next, just to be able to, like, fill my food bar up, because my food bar is suffering right now. It looks like, yep, okay, we're going to continue building the base. After I fulfill my food needs. So let's go ahead and make a... So I've got 11 of the builder toolkits. That's pretty good. Let's go make a bow spindle. So bow spindle, I do have a small stick in storage. I need tree bark and a rope. Do I have the materials for a rope? I don't. I don't have the liana. So, taking a look at the map here, there is liana over here. So let's go up that way to collect it. In order to collect it, I will need an axe. And my current axe is pretty close to breaking. So I might want to also consider making myself a new axe, because I won't have the iron in order to repair my old one. And a new axe is going to cost... I want to make a nicer axe. So the nicer axe, if we take a look at tools, is going to be the improved stone axe with the stone axe blade. So if I go to 2 item, the stone axe blade is a master stone and a regular stone. And that's definitely going to be my next axe, so that I can... because its durability goes up pretty considerably. Oh, and perfect. There's a master stone right here. And regular stones right here. So with these two, I can make one of those stone axe blades. Oh, and it's getting dark. So with a small stick and another rope, I can make the... the improved axe blade. It's going to be a little tricky because with no light and no fire starter method, it's going to be hard to see what's going on. What I can do in the meantime is just to, as a stopgap measure, just to do a fire spindle, a regular one, so that you can actually see what the hell I'm doing. There we go. So let's go destroy the old one and work on a new one. So for that, I need liana, and that's from this way. Hi, Vaughn. Thank you for the sub. Other things to collect. So hibiscus is good for when you have, like, flu-like symptoms. If you hear the rattlesnake, be careful, because getting stung might envenomate you. You can collect mushroom tinder for setting fires. And then here is the banyan tree with the vines, but it's being guarded by this little guy who's going to be supper. Alright, my regular axe is almost broken. And I did get sick from being wet for so long. So I would like to make myself some curative once I'm back at my campfire. And given how hungry I am, I wouldn't mind some extra crab, too. Oh, did the other one see me? Oh, he's right there. Ooh, swing and a miss. As you level up, your accuracy with that kind of stuff, you know, increases tremendously. Oh, they saw me. I'm gonna torch up my butt. Probably doesn't help. Little stone cairn with hibiscus flowers and chamomile flowers. I'll pick up the chamomile flowers because that's another curative that I could make. Throwing level 2. So, just to demonstrate, throwing level 2, aiming speed is increased and reduced stamina drain. And then you can also get, like, increased damage by level 3. So there's a bunch of different tiers that you can level up to. So the skills that you use more frequently, you definitely get better at, which is nice. Let's see here. Yeah. That's a date palm, but I've already collected all the dates, so there's no food there for me. So let's focus on my food, because as you can see on the bottom left side of the screen, my food is dismal. I'm, like, very hungry. And being a little under the weather due to the fact that I got wet is certainly doing me no benefit. So with the torch out, it's going to be really easy to light this campfire. It only takes 12 minutes, and it's guaranteed. I don't even need tinder. So I'm going to make hibiscus petals, which is good for flu-like symptoms, like runny nose. And leaving your conditions untended can compound the problem. So now the hibiscus petals cures my runny nose, if only I could do that in real life. But if I ignored it, it could get worse over time, or if I continued to get wet, it could get worse and turn into a real flu. So it's up to the player to manage those types of conditions. So there's a bunch of other curatives. I'm going to add some more sticks to the fire. And then let's cook the short-eared dog. And some crab. Let's cook all the crab. And have ourselves a little bit of a feast. Eat, 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 eat. Eat. And so I just ate short-eared dog, 4 crabs, and a coconut. Thank you for tuning in to Survival Fountain of Youth, which originally streamed live on Twitch September 17th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind I'm trying to avoid spoilers in the comments, so don't spoil anything. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow survivors.